Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this. We are joining you to tell you all about this amazing event we got coming up called Women Healing Women on Saturday, June 22nd at Ritual. So welcome. Let me just describe the event before I tell you a little bit about Ritual and have you meet the amazing people that are going to be helping us out through that day. So Women Healing Women is a one-day event that we're setting up on Saturday, June 22nd. That's all about, like the title implies, women healing their women issues. Haha. Ever since about January of this year, of 2024, every workshop I've taught live, online, or in person has all revolved around the woman pain, whether it be abuse, whether it be deep sadness, whether it be not feeling recognized as being the same, whether it feel not important, not getting paid enough, feeling like you're on your fourth husband and not being able to trust men. I could go on the entire webinar and keep listing our pain points as women. But if you look back at history and study a little bit, you'll discover that COVID represented metaphysically the shift into the balance from patriarchy. And patriarchy has been going on for millions of years. And it affects men just like it does women. But this workshop is just for women because I have found that when women support women, we level up even with greater ease and greater love. So since COVID was just, really we just wrapped up from it, it's still happening, but whatever. This January of 2024 was always said to be the time of evolution. Dalai Lama actually has been spoken as saying that the Western woman will heal the world. So as we uprise and speak and begin to heal internally, we impact generations before us and generations after. So I'm going to hand it over to Jackie. She's going to tell you a bit about Ritual, and then I'll pull it back in a second. So Jackie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jackie, and I'm about to introduce myself. I've been a health coach for the last 15 years, and I'm also training to be a clinical counselor. And I'm also a partner at Ritual Urban Retreat, which is a new healing space in Vancouver. So we're very excited to be hosting Divi and this really amazing event. The Ritual, essentially the concept is instead of always having to go away to do these deeper healing work at retreat spaces around the world, Ritual is an urban retreat center where you can do these daily practices, sound healing, breath work, yoga, different movement practices, hot and cold therapy. So lots of different practices that get us into our deeper self, help us become more spiritually connected, and make it a part of your regular life rather than once or twice thing a year. So we're really excited to be hosting, and we'll talk more about the event. So thanks, Divi.
Thanks, Jackie. And so y'all, most of you know what I do. I work as an intuitive coach. I don't know what I do. The guides lead the event. If you're getting an intuition to come, and I'll talk about that later, that's your inner guides, your grandmothers, your great grandmothers, your ancestor pulling you. My job as intuitive is to use my guides to connect to your guides and pull in the messages. And that's what I'm going to do during the day. But in addition, I've got an amazing woman, Delia, and an amazing woman, Ashley, who are going to support us. So I'm going to hand it over to Delia, and she's going to tell you a bit about what she does and how she's going to support.
Hello, my name is Delia. I'm a classical trained musician and a flutist and a certified sound healer based in Vancouver, Canada. I've been facilitating sound journeys in the community here for the past 10 years, and I've been so privileged working with many doctors, coaches, and musicians and learning along the way. So I'm so happy to be part of this team and so looking forward to the workshop on June 22nd. A little about sound healing. What I find fascinating about sound and vibration is basically it's the ability for releasing those buried emotions and traumas and memories. And when that energetic weight releases, you feel much lighter and more at ease for sure. It basically rejuvenates your mood and increases energy levels. So I hope that we can all feel more grounded and more self-love towards the end of the journey.
Thank you, Dalia. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Ashley, do you want to share a bit about your stuff?
Yeah, thank you. My name's Ashley, and I am a movement facilitator. I've been facilitating movement since I was young. I was in martial arts when I was young, and then I was also an avid athlete, which incurred quite a bit of injury, and then had me switching over to yoga as a complementary practice to all of my sports. And then I fell in love with facilitating. And really, yes, I facilitate movement, but my intention is always to bring the individual home to their body, to their mind, to what is existing within them, their own limitations, their own boundaries that they want to set, and recognizing their response to discomfort, whatever it may be, but working within like the safe grounds and window of tolerance of themselves, not who's next to them or who's in front of them or even the facilitator. And I'm always like curious when I'm facilitating and trying to encourage, like, sure, we might feel discomfort. We all do, but what do we do with it, right? Are we always shying away from it? Do we lean into it? Do we get curious about that? And I love that this group is all women because the practice that I'm going to be offering is very somatic and almost intuitive on its own. It's got a workout component in the middle, which you can take or pass. But the somatic expression and the permission to maybe move, I think, because we're all women, to like feel our hips move a little sexier at some points, but also be able to pick up a sandbag and yell and express anger and have the permission to express anger. And all together, it will fuel, I think, like the innate fire that exists or is like maybe an ember right now. And yeah, my intention with what I'm offering at this event is to stoke your fire and bring a little bit more awareness, love, and self-compassion into like exactly who you are, how you're moving in that moment.
Mm.
I love that, Ashley. Thank you. Jackie, do you want to share your part of it?
Yeah, so I'm going to be leading essentially near the end of the event, before the sound healing. We're going to do a meditation with some automatic writing. And essentially, a lot of times when we're journaling or just thinking, our normal thinking brain is always on, and there's different parts of us that can give us different answers, and we can often get confused. So this type of journaling exercise is really to go deeper, to connect with our soul, or some people call like our inner self or our true self, and really get to a place where we're connecting with our unconscious mind and we're letting the answers flow naturally out of us and onto the page. So I'm going to be leading you through writing where you're actually not stopping, you're just letting, there's no reason to even make full sentences. Like whatever's coming out is exactly what you're supposed to be writing and coming to you, essentially tapping deeper into our own intuition and our own guidance. And it definitely helps calm and relax the mind. It can help us gain guidance from our higher self, even get better clarity on certain issues that might be coming up for us in the event. Yeah, lots of different benefits to automatic writing, but it really is a way at the end of the event to kind of come, gather all the different tools and things that have come through for you in the whole process that we lead you through, and gain some of your own clarity to reflect on maybe even later in the night or week from now. Yeah, just really get connected to yourself. And one thing I wanted to maybe just ask Deliar is, I know you were gonna lead your class kind of focusing on certain chakras, and for this specific event, what were you planning?
Yeah, we were talking earlier about the workshop, and after talking to Dr. Divi, I've decided to mainly focus on the root chakra. The first chakra, it's the base, it's a foundation, and it's responsible for feeling security and stability. And a lot of us, when that chakra is out of balance, feel that fear and instability. So we're mainly going to work on that one, and also the fourth energy center, the heart chakra, that we all need. Its basic need is love, compassion, and trust. So we're definitely going to work on these two, as well as working on the the main 7 chakras. But yeah, my main focus is going to be the root and the heart. So yeah. And also, I'm going to use different singing bowls in different tunings and hertz. So the main ones are going to be 432, which is the healing tuning, and 280 probably. I'm going to see what changes till the workshop, but mainly these 2 hertz, and a few different flutes for more melodies. So it could actually help bring those memories and trigger points out, and some gongs with very powerful vibrations. So it could help as well.
So when you go to, like, a healing event and you have like a sound journey at the end, what essentially does like the sound, like what do you hope to happen like inside of someone's body at the end of event like this?
Basically, even if you're not aware of it, it has a huge effect on your body. Like, it slows down your brain waves. So basically, you get to that state of dreamlike or sleepiness. You're not fully asleep, you're not fully awake, but that's our goal. We want to get to that state that our body and mind is at rest. And the sound and vibration can basically it puts our brain waves to a theta, or if you go a little bit deeper, to the delta brain waves, and those are associated with meditation, sleep, dreaming. So we want to get there, even as I said, even if you're not aware of it, we automatically get to that state, and that's what we want, or that's what we hope for. You feel a very sense of relaxation and release after that.
Nice. It sounds like, yeah, there's like also like a integration piece where your
Yes,
body,
for sure.
yeah, like let everything fall and come more into.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just had a questions for Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of, the way that we're promoting your class, a lot ask me like, what is the animal? Like, why is it called the animal? And yeah, if you could just speak to that.
Yeah. Why is it called the animal? Well, I mean, I'm sure that we've all realized in our most devastating moments, or even in our most triumphant moments, we can be quite animalistic, whether we're shouting at the scream out at the sky, or just angry, frustrated, crying on the floor. Like, if you think of the extreme emotions of a human being, that's where the name came from. And it's more so permission as a capsule of the animal, rather than you're going to come to a class and act like an animal on all fours. It's really not that at all. It's more about animals have this insane divine intuition that they don't question. And over thousands of years, and with the rigidity and conditioning of society, we lose that. And I'm sure Dr. Divi speaks to it a lot, like your own intuition and listening to that. And the more you listen to that, the louder it becomes. And you start to respond to almost stimuli from the inside. And that's what we're going for. So the name may be intimidating, and there may even be some components of the class when you're in it that are intimidating. But I encourage you to lean in with curiosity, and everything's an invitation. Like, everything in life should be an invitation. You have a choice, right? But it's like, what pulls us to pushing past our window of tolerance? What allows us to push just past that mindful edge of discomfort, so we're not going too far? Just like when we start to share our vulnerability and we start to get open for the first time in our life, you can be in the wrong environment for that, overshare, and feel like you were burned. And all of this is a part of learning your intuition, right? When to pause, when to lean in, and nobody can speak to that other than you. Nobody can answer that other than you. So it's very much about that. And it's also about like just the discipline of staying in the simplicity of something repetitive. In my opinion, and what I've heard going around the city, I make some pretty awesome playlists. So there is some great music to push and act as like the cadence to your movement. But yeah, I hope that answers your question as simple as possible.
Yeah, speaking to your repetitive movement, that was definitely something in the class that intrigued me. And I know that Kundalini yoga does that kind of movement. So what's the purpose for that repetitive movement?
Well, similar to actually you spoke to with the journaling, allowing us to move from a different space, a different layer within ourselves. at first, when you do anything for a couple minutes, right? It's a couple minutes. You can see the end line, and you may hit a moment of discomfort, but it's pretty easy to push one more minute once you've done a minute and like you're halfway there. A lot of this will hold you in a certain space or capsule for 5 minutes. Is room, and we do take moments of pause with nervous system informed, like tapping, shaking, very similar to that's another lineage to animals and what they do when they need to shake off the fear. But I guess the repetitive movement is allowing what we bury down to come to the surface. And then there's so many options and permissions for you to vocalize that, shake it out. It could come out of you in all sorts of ways. That being said, if you choose to, very similar to like a breathwork practice, this could get quite cathartic. And what's important, I think, is that we're setting up a safe capsule for these women. We're all women, we're all understanding and we're in the same experience, that I hope that acts as a gateway for you to allow things to come to the surface, because you can easily be in your judgment mind, your comparison mind, and you can't even access those things, right? Looking around, what is everybody else doing? So I'm hopeful that through this, people can turn inward, move from the inside, and allow something deeper to come up, or maybe it's something that they're aware of, and just a constant thought pattern that won't get off their mind in this repetitive movement that we're doing. You need to push past barriers. It could seem even boring at some points, but similar to breaking past any barrier into success, triumph, adversity, is it gets tough, it gets gritty, it gets confusing in there, but what's on the other side of that? And that's where I'll be guiding you through and hopefully pulling you and checking you out on the other side.
Yeah, like the word or the saying that comes to me is like pushing past the boundaries, essentially.
Yeah, but at the same time, I guess like I like to use the word mindful edge, because boundaries, I think, is understood in society right now as well as something that is very important to people. That if your boundary is to, state like it's a boundary for you to not be cathartic in this way, your boundary would have probably been, maybe I'm not ready for this event yet. That being said, though, like playing with that boundary as like a mindful edge. So allowing yourself to, okay, maybe you like peek past the boundary. Maybe you push a little further on the next one, and continuing to pull back, but honor yourself and not push yourself like too deep into discomfort, but just become, I guess, aware of it and start to create a dialogue with it. So like playing with that line.
Yeah, I love that. And actually, when you were talking about this and having the safe space of women, something that was hard for me to think about when I used to do a lot of like solo healing work for myself. And then when I moved to group healing, or like group workshops and things, it was a bit intimidating at first, but someone said something to me once that really resonated. And it was like, some of our like deepest hurts or traumas are like too big to be held by like one person. And that's why like traditionally like people would come together and like whole group would like hold that energy and help move it and feel it and essentially like transform it, or anyway, it just made me think
No,
of
that's powerful. Yeah. And there's this like, we are a tribe, we are a community, we are not meant to walk this life alone, right? We have solo moments, but nothing is more powerful than like chanting, yelling with a bunch of women or a bunch of men or a bunch of human beings, where you're all on the same page. You all realize no one's better than one another. And there is, sure, these nuances to each person's story, but at the same time, there's a certain amount of emotions that we can feel, and we each have access to all of them, even if you haven't felt one yet or thought you felt one, right? Sometimes people can be disconnected from their emotions, their feelings, their body, all sorts of things. But a lot of getting together gives you permission and allows you to witness what's possible. But also, if it's a place where you're in more of that possibility space, then you get to act as support for somebody and providing like that knowledge that, like, it's okay on the other side. You can lean in. So yeah, I love how you put that. It's very powerful, I believe.
Yeah, Divvy, sorry. I want to come back to you because I know you have a lot.
I know Delia has to go, so if you have to go.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. I can't wait to see you on the 22nd.
Yes, yes.
Bye,
Take care.
Delyar.
Bye-bye. Oh.
So sorry, Jackie. So just tell what I do.
Yeah, get back to you and
So the Woman Healing Woman is really about, and I think why we've added Ashley's component and Delyar's component, just so you all know, because a lot of people used to come to my workshops where I'm the only teacher. One of the things, if you've ever come to my workshops, my job is to pull in the energies from spirit. That's my job. And in spirit, if we think of the word God or Holy Spirit or the universe, the divine, angels, whatever you want to call it, as humans, we live in dichotomy: rich, poor, hot, cold, men, women. Spirit, the divine, is a unity consciousness. And so when we're exposed to that unity consciousness of the Divine Mother, we can heal the stories of us not being enough. Mm-hmm. And so many of us as women live in powerlessness. It's just so deeply ingrained in us. So moving out from powerlessness, in the studies, this is studied in Power versus Force by David Hawkins, as well as in the Abraham work. The movement of frustration and anger is important, so we can move the energy, which is what the animal class is all about. And like Ashley said so beautifully, there's no like cranking you. Your body will only take you, which is beautiful, to what your mind can do. So you don't have to worry about that. So it's somatic release. And the work I do is about, people often describe it like doing mushrooms without doing the mushrooms. That's what people tell me all the time. It's because I work at the intuitive level. I see, sense, feel energy for a living. So I see, sense, feel the pictures that are blocking you. And so I'll pull somebody up from the group of people that are there and we'll work with them. But their pain story about a loved one is also all of our pain stories. So as we work with healing her, and we all do meditations that are similar and work with the Divine Mother and do different energetic exercises, we'll all leave the pain behind in ritual. Ritual can have it. And then the sound healing and the work Jackie's going to take us through will let us pull love in where all that pain was. So there's no question that you will feel lighter after the event. There is no question that some of those layers, if not all of them, in the unconscious that want to get moved will get moved. And one thing that I tell everybody who attends my events, I will not push you past where you can't go, just like a yoga teacher. If you can't do the splits, no one's completing the splits. It's the same in my work. Spirit knows exactly what layer you're ready to release. I don't. Spirit does. Spirit will tell me, and I will guide you there. That's my job. But your spirit will never push you past what you can handle. So if you're like, people always think that when they work with me that I can read their minds. Can't be bothered. And I love you and I say that. But I will only take you to what layer you are ready to release. And when you release that, you have more energy, more money, more time, more love. You can decide if you want to stay with that partner or not. You might, you'll have such clarity when you move that layer. And that layer might be from your mother or grandmother. You might be stuck in it, or it might be from your father, not trusting men, whatever. Doesn't matter what the layer, we all have that. So that's my job. So I always say I have an easy job in my perspective, but people think it's hard. It's easy because they run the work. I get to show up and tell you what they tell me to do. So I'm excited. They being your guides, your angels, your ancestors, that energy, they want you to release it so you can be happier, be more joyful. You don't have to sit around like this and worry and think and be a mom all the time. You can be free. So yeah, that's
yeah. Do you find like it's better to come to the event with like specific problems, or do you find that people like surprisingly find that things come up, or mixed bag?
Sometimes it's a bit of both. And funny, I went up for dinner last night because it was our anniversary. So I went for dinner. I ran into a woman who's coming to my retreat in Big White. And my retreat in Big White is a week after this retreat. And so so we do an urban retreat, then we do an away retreat. And so I ran to her and she said, oh my, like, we're talking, and she said, I signed up for your event because I want to move through stuff in my relationship, but my partner came to your last event. By him coming to your last event, I think I moved through that. I'm like, cool. She goes, so I'm ready for whatever I'm there for, right? So just by signing up, sometimes because we're still a couple of weeks out, just by signing up today, they say that the transformation begins the moment the transaction is made. So the minute you sign up, the event begins. So that woman signed up for a retreat a few weeks ago, stuff with her boyfriend shifted. She now has that clarity. She's like, I was going to Divvy's retreat over here for that. That already happened. So now she's in for something even bigger. She's like, now I want to make more money. So I'm like, great, we'll do that, right? So if you have an intention, great. And if you don't, great. But trust me, the minute you start, Spirit will start working with you. Start. And everything you're signing up for might get cleared before the event, and then I get to go deeper. So doesn't really matter if you have an intention or not, but trust me, it's there somewhere in your unconscious. So
Nice.
yeah. I'm excited. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. That's all I can say. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too.
Amazing. And if there's any questions, you can email me or Jackie or Ashley or Deliar. Just message us through Instagram or through our websites. And anything else, Jackie, on that? Oh, we're going to feed lunch. So we have lunch coming from.
Yeah, Good Table. They're a local company and a lot of holistic nutritionists that will be feeding us nice healthy bowls that you get to choose one. And I think we'll be providing some snacks as well. Ritual has showers and towels and everything that you need. So you can bring a change of clothes if you want for after the class. And comfortable light clothes. And I don't think any
I'll add is the order in case they're wondering right now. So we start with me, then we go to Ashley, then we come back to me, then we go to Jackie, then we go to Deliar, and then back to me, and then we end. Correct? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
So one last, like, what would you say to someone that was kind of like thinking about the event but not 100% sure?
Super easy. I offer complimentary introductions. It's on my website. Second. And we can talk and see if I can address any questions intuitively you have. And I'm not selling you an event. It's the last thing in the world I do. I just tell you a bit more about it, answer your questions, deal with any concerns you've got. Some people are curious what's blocking them. So yeah, just book in a complimentary intro with me and we can talk. So
nice. Okay.
Amazing. And I'm so excited. So excited you're coming. I'm so excited to hang out with you guys for a day. It's so fun.
Yeah, me too.
Love it. Thanks, Jackie. Thanks, Ashley.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. And we'll see everybody on the 22nd. So it's not limited space, right, Jackie? Limited space.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
So much love, guys. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye, guys.